and welcome. We're going to do a quick run through the manufacturing disassembly transaction today. This transaction automates the process of taking apart a finished good item into its components, returning those components to stock, and of course, removing the finished good from inventory as well. To give you an example of where this might be used, let's say we build chairs. All the chairs we build are similar in that they use a core set of components like legs, a seat assembly, and a back assembly. Of course, we have different finishes, etc. So I've used up all my legs building stock chairs, and then I get a special rush order in for some custom chairs, but I don't have any legs left. So I'm going to disassemble some of my stock chairs so I can use the legs for the rush order, and all the leftover pieces that I don't need for the rush order will be put back into inventory as well. So let's run through the actual process on the handheld. First, though, we're going to pull up the BOM for reference sake in GP. So we go to Cards, Manufacturing, Bill of Materials. We're going to pull up Chair. And we don't really need this open on the handheld, but just for reference sake so we can follow along. So on the handheld, we're going to go into number 7, Manufacturing, and we're going to do Manufacturing Disassembly. First prompt we get is for the Great Plains Site ID, where we're going to disassemble this finished good. Mine is defaulting to Warehouse, which is what I want. And we're going to pull from bin WR1. My finished good item that I'm going to take apart is a chair. And here we get a list of all the valid BOM types for this finished good item. I only have one, so I can hit enter. Otherwise, this list would be fuller, and you could choose the one you wanted. I have 10 available in inventory, and I'm going to take apart, we're going to make it nice and simple. It's easy to understand. We're going to take apart one finished good, one chair. So now what I get is a list. See, there's 4 items in this list, and it should correspond to the 4 items you see on this BOM. And we're only going to look at the top level of the BOM for this transaction. So I'll scroll through these. You can see that we need 2 arms. Should be pretty logical. 1 back assembly, 4 legs, and 1 seat assembly. Other important things on this screen, besides showing the quantity that we're expected, we have gain, and that's how many we have taken apart so far, gained into inventory, and scrap. That's how many scraps. Now, what scrap is let's say I'm taking apart this chair, and there's some parts that, once they're put together, you can't take them apart without breaking them, or, maybe it's a 50-50 chance whether they're going to get broken. So we may not get all of the components from this finished good, this chair, back in inventory. So scrap gives me the opportunity to scrap those, not put them back into inventory. And there's a couple ways we can do this scrap. We can purposely go in and say, oh, this one's scrapped. Or we can just scan everything we can that's going back into inventory. And at the very end of the transaction, we'll have the opportunity to scrap the balance, all the things that are missing. And that's what I'm going to do for the demo here. So we can go ahead and just scan things as they're coming off the chair. If there's no barcodes, we can find them in this list and hit enter. And as usual, we can use all our combined barcoding and item alias type logic. So I'm just going to pretend I'm scanning these as they come off. I'm going to scan an arm. And we're going to prompt for a couple of values. We need to know what site this is going to and what bin for each component. And we can set up defaults for these prompts and even skip the prompts altogether using the defaults if we want. But I have everything turned on so we can see it all. So I'm going to go to Warehouse, and I'm going to put this in my receiving bin. And I'll get all 2 of those arms. And you'll notice now that my list dropped to 3 items. The way I have it set up, I'm in MO view, missing order view. And what that does is as I complete things fully, the gain equals the quantity, or the gain plus the scrap equals the quantity. they're going to drop off the list because I can't really scan any more of them anyway. So we'll do a couple more things here. Let's do the legs, and we'll get 4 legs. Oops. See, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm at the site prompts. And I'll just take those defaults, but I do have the opportunity to change it. We'll get 4 legs. And let's say I think I'm done. I know I'm not, but I think I'm done. I hit F1. It's going to tell me that I haven't balanced everything. Do I want to scrap the remaining? So if I say no, I simply go back and I have the opportunity to scan some more. So we'll do the seat assembly. We'll get one. And let's say this thing fell apart. The back assembly just, I broke it. So when I hit F1 this time, I'm going to say I want to scrap the remaining. So I go ahead and do that. And it tells me that it's been sent to the distributed processor to post. And I purposely do not have that running at the moment so that we can take a look at this transaction. So we're going to go into GP. And we'll go transaction entry. And we'll pull up that number. It should be 231. And we can see what we got here. So what we'll see here, this doesn't really do a manufacturing transaction. There's no direct transaction that this relates to on GP. We're not really doing a reverse MO receipt. We're not putting things back into WIP. We're putting them back into inventory. So we're doing a positive adjustment for the components that I scanned and a negative line for the finished good. And you'll notice there's the 2 arms I scanned, the 4 legs, and I scrapped the back assembly. There's nowhere to put it on the document, so we just don't put there. And eventually, if I had this configured as such, DPS would have posted this for me, so my inventory would have been updated real time, but I purposely stopped it here so we could take a look. So that, in a nutshell, is manufacturing disassembly. We do have quite a few options for the transaction. Pretty much standard functionality like we have with all our other options. We can control the responses that you can put in at each prompt and change the looping and put some defaults in, that kind of thing. Well, what I showed here today was pretty simple. We did a non-tracked finished good with non-tracked components. If we were using any serialized or lot-tracked items, we would be prompted accordingly. You know, if the finished good, we would need to know the serial or lot number to take out. All be validated. And then any components coming back into inventory, we would prompt serial lot numbers as well. So that is the disassembly demo.